The COVID-19 pandemic season started on 25 January 2020, which brought unrest among the community, which caused all aspects in the country to be closed, including in the field of industry, education, and so on. This is because for protect the community from being affected with this virus. This therefore bring many challenges to all aspects, especially once it is in the employment aspect. This season bring many challenges, including ethics and integrity for employees involved. This is because employees move and do not have a workplace atmosphere. This is a big challenge that is a problem in ethics and integrity to them. For example, every employee or organization had to switch to work from home mode in almost all management and governance processes as a result of the effect of the pandemic. Lastly, every employee must be honest while working so as not to bring risk to any party, including himself.
My name is AQILAH binti SAMSURI. My matric number is A20A1614. Now I will present about the main issues in this case. The term workplace in the future is undergoing a significant wave of transformation and is becoming an important topic of discussion among top management in our organization. As a result of the pandemic's impact, organizations were forced to switch the work from home (WFH) mode in almost all management and governance processes. Employees and organizations are faced with the difficult task in integrating and process of adapting a new norms that are not temporary. Most employees struggle to stay motivated or manage stress, which can have a negative impact on productivity and thus on employees and the organization. When stress, work processes and living conditions change, and unintended consequences occurs in individual behavior. Individual behavior assessment becomes a critical process to ensure an organization's viability in dealing with ethical and employees' integrity issues during WFH.
My name is NURUL binti JUMAAN and my machine number is A20A1867. So I will present for second main issue. It is to decide whether to follow existing or new national and organizational rules, procedures and guidelines or to utilize professional judgment in situations when the policies appear to be ineffective, confusing or inadequate. However, over time, many governments, organizations, and individuals develop new laws, policies, and guidelines regarding health and social care during the pandemic. Hence, they use their professional judgment to decide whether to bend or break the rules or law. As a result of the pandemic, new needs have emerged or underlying social problems and inequalities have worsened, who may not recognize current service delivery or existing funding priorities. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is ZUBAIR bin SUBRI and my matric number is A20A2096. Okay, now I want to present how does the issue affect the organization. Okay, one of the effect is the culture of working from home. Workers were encouraged to do work at home during the COVID-19 epidemic hit the country. This is said to be so because to prevent the spread of COVID-19 epidemics. A work from home culture will pose a problem for employees in terms of responsibility for their opportunities while at home. Okay, besides that, adherence to standard operating procedures or SOP will affect the country, the organization. Every employee must be enforced with SOP compliant at all times, no matter where they are. The state of the new norm has changed many things in terms of wearing face masks, hygiene, and many more. This matter is initially difficult for employees to comply with because it is still new and does not get the attention of those in charge. Okay, last but not least, the level of health of each employee is very important. Every employee must be honest in ensuring that the level of health is always good and not underestimated. They also need to always provide proper health status to the employer to ensure that the work area is not exposed to the risk of infections such as infectious disease. Okay, that's for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad ARHAM bin ALIAS, my number matric A20A1503. So now I want to talk about the effect of COVID-19 on organization in charity. Over 18 months, there have been numerous reports in the media about charities being overwhelmed by demand and are struggling to find their service when restrictions are imposed. The fact that nearly every charity was affected by the outbreak is perhaps the most intriguing finding. Based on a survey to respondents in pandemic COVID-19, a 22% they experienced a shortage of volunteers. So that's effect to charity in the world. For example, charity in India, South Africa and United Kingdom all state they had worked with a non-human organization or group, and charity in Brazil and United Kingdom, they had refocused or reduced their activities to respond to the crisis of COVID-19. And charity in Australia can be said investing in new technology to operate as well as requesting financial assistance to pay the salaries of charity staff and demonstrating the country enabling environment.
In August, the spread of the COVID-19 outbreak decreased day by day until the government relaxed the movement control order and began opening up key sectors. Parliamentary conference can also be held to provide space for ministers to discuss the next step to address the COVID-19 case. In addition, the implementation of the general election in Sabah has caused COVID-19 case in Sabah to increase dramatically, causing the government to have to implement the movement control order again starting October 2020. The state government is also allowed to make any decision without any oversight to curb the spread of COVID-19. After the end of the political emergency, politician agenda Tan Sri MUHYIDDIN to resign as Prime Minister and on 16 August 2020, he resigned. This resignation caused to the country to lose the cause to appoint the next candidate to become Prime Minister.
There are several recommendations to solve these issues. First, honesty is very important in organizations. Organizations should disseminate critical information about new ethical principles and practices. It's vital to highlight that this information should be shared in a variety of ways and at all levels of the company. Next, increase emotional commitment. It's important to recognize how difficult it is to establish integrity. Workers must be given opportunities to respond to changes. Once everyone understands the case for integrity and is emotionally invested in the effort, they must acquire new behaviors and actions to go along with it. Finally, comprehend integrity practices. Workers must understand the new behaviors they are required to adopt, as well as the new processes they must follow. Organizations should educate workers with knowledge through acceptable behavior and instill knowledge in their employees by enforcing acceptable behavior.
My name is WALIUDDIN FATHULLAH bin ROSLI. My metric number is A20-82065. Okay, next recommendation is create a program based on self-motivation management among employees. This is said because in the situation of COVID-19 pandemic, which is still not over yet, it is not easy to the employee who work online, work from home. So, because of that, there are many employees who are likely to face several stress problems. So that will lead them to commit suicide. So, I hope this program will be helped. Another recommendation is the company needs to evaluate and improve the company rules and procedure. This is said because if the employees still have to abide by the old rules that are not appropriate with current situation COVID-19, so the integrity of employees is likely to diminish. With the consideration of the new work rules, employees will probably feel better than the others. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is SYAZWAN bin MOHAMAD. My metric number is A20A1477. For next recommendation is organization should increase communication and encouragement of response. Developing rule and procedure of course mean nothing unless they are conveyed to a variety of channels. Organization should share example of best practice from around the firm so that everyone on the team can understand the behavior that are expected in an integrity-based culture. And for the last recommendation is organization should give the employees the equipment they need to stay compliant. Even the most well-intentioned employees will be discouraged if they lack access of appropriate technology and resources. Document inserter, for example, can be leased rather than purchased outright, and those based on file-based processing have higher security standard built in for optimal document integrity.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Umar Akif bin JAHRI and my number metric is A20A1431. We go to the conclusion. Most workers face the test of remaining a proper or overseeing feeling of anxiety, which can contrary affect the usefulness and accordingly on a representative and the against. At the point when a stress work cycle everyday environment change, this emergency unintendedly affect individually conduct. Individually conduct appraisal turns into a basic cycle to guarantee an association of feasibility in a managing issue of a moral and the trustworthiness of their representative during work from home. Once more, the words of respectability assume a significant part in teaching and molding a singular character in managing this circumstance. And furthermore, participant challenge is to choose whether to follow existing or new public and hierarchy standard method and rules, to use proficient judgment in circumstances when the arrangement seem by all account to be incapable, confounding or deficient.